Alright, there we go. Hopefully this fixes it here. OBS just had an update and wants to be fun. So let's hope this setting works here, that doesn't kick me out here. But I'm just playing since the server's of how I've been enjoying my characters. So it is going to be very opinionated. And opinionated tier lists like that, there's a lot of room of everyone's going to have their own opinions, and everyone's going to have their own weight values for everything. The other thing I plan to do is to look over the trailers that Genshin's put out for the new characters and such. I've watched one of them, but there's 3 of them in total, and 2 of them I haven't watched yet, so I figured now would be the perfect time to watch them while we're waiting for everything. And also, I have character reviews open if you have your character builds already saved in Akashja. NK Network is going to be down right now because the server's undergoing maintenance, so it doesn't have anything to pull from. But Akashja system, it cannot update without being able to see the update on Enka, but if it already has the stuff saved, I can still look at those builds from there. And that goes for any server. If you happen to be on EU or Asia or anything like that, that's all fine. So what I'm thinking of doing is starting with some of these videos here. Although I think I might want to wait till some more people come in here. Okay, let's see here. Okay. There we go.
Hello.
Hey, Mike. Welcome to the stream.
Oh man, the PlayStation menu's music is so different for Genshin now. They changed it. Yep.
I'm letting Genshin update in the meantime right now. What's its progress?
My download resource was being buggy for a minute. It froze, then it kept going. I was like, and then it was done. Is that verifying? Verifying the last thing.
Now it does start game. I'm going to hide this just so it doesn't show my login stuff. So I'm going to go to just chatting.
Oh man.
I think I beat my record on time to get home on my bike.
I bet.
It's normally about half an hour to get to ride the distance on my e-bike. I did it in 19 minutes.
It seems like you're eager for this game to come out. This test to come.
The lights just happened to work in my favor. Like, every light was green for me, and I just rocketed right home.
Oh, you're not the only one. I can't wait to try this, to go into this new map too.
Oh, look, we have almost a 3 gigabyte file here to download.
You download resources? Yeah. It's a lot of gigabytes. Mine was MB. That's megabytes, right? MB?
MB is megabytes, so
Yeah, megabytes.
2,898 megabytes, and a
Yeah.
1,000 megabytes is approximately a gigabyte. So that's almost 3 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's still a lot though for this
It
big
is.
map. That's why. That's why.
Well, the pre-download is like the map and stuff, and the downloading resources, the emergency fixes they have to do between when they finish that to when it goes live. And the fact that
Yeah.
that's almost 3 gigs for that, they're fixing a lot of stuff before launch. Because normally it's
Oh yeah.
like half a
This
gig
is
is
gonna.
what we usually see at this point.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a lot of stories as well.
Yeah.
And don't forget all for the vent stuff as well.
Yep. So let's do a little bit of Genshindle here. I'm on endless mode right now. I'm gonna start with Chiori. They're older than 4.5. They're not Geo. They don't use a sword. They're definitely not from Sumeru. Or not Sumeru, sorry, Inazuma.
Could it be from Leeway?
Well, let's pick another name here. Try Nilu. They're newer than that. And they're not Sumeru either.
That cuts
Oh,
out
she's
two
a sword user
regions.
too. What? They're not Hydro. Why the hell did I do Nilu? She couldn't have been it.
Or Geo, as well.
Yeah, but I picked another sword user, that's why.
Could they be from? But you said they're below 4. 4.0 is where Fontaine is, right?
4.x is Fontaine and 3.x
Yeah.
is Sumeru. So there's newer
It
than
could be
3.1,
Fontaine.
older than 4.5. It
Maybe
could
it's
be
around Fontaine.
Fontaine, so why don't we try Riesli? Okay, so they have the same weekly boss, and they're also from Fontaine, but they're older than 4.1. So could that be Lenny or his sister? No, it can't be a sister.
It could
No
be.
swords.
So it must be Lenny, maybe, because he's a boat user.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, next round. Who should we pick as a starting character?
Tough choice.
I usually like picking somewhere in the middle of the releases. Because at the very least, it cuts the list in half.
Here's something crazy I saw. It looks like Genshin's doing collab with Crunchyroll.
I saw that. You posted about that in other server, so I was looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Who's your
looks like it's
favorite?
gonna be like what?
Who is your favorite Sumeru character?
Tough choice. I gotta say maybe I'll hate them.
All right. Who released with Alhaitham?
I think it was just only him from that patch.
No, there had
Why?
to be somewhere else, but they're not from Sumeru.
But they're on 3.4.
Yes, they released on 3.4.
Yao Yao. I remember the before star. He was in the Yao Yao was in the same banner. I think could be.
There you go. You got it right.
I remember because Yao Yao did came out at the same time with I'll Hate Them.
Well, we knew they were Dendro too, so that made sense.
Hmm. Yeah, because but I did remember that was like for Lantern stuff. That's when Yao Yao came out.
Hmm. Let's do the normal mode here, which is the everyday. Yesterday was a Skirk, so it can't be Skirk. Let's try Lenny first. Actually, no, I'm gonna do Lynette.
Mhm.
They're a sword user, and they're much, much newer. So, know that they're not from Fontaine.
Natlin?
We know they're not Animo.
Hmm.
We know that they're a sword user. I doubt it's Skirk because hers was yesterday.
Yep.
How about Durin? Ooh, so close. Well, so we know they're Mondstadt.
And it's a newer. And it's a soul user.
Ah, I think I know who it is, and it's a character I don't have on my account. Starts with the D. Barbara knows him very well.
Hmm.
Dahlia.
Oh, him. That priest boy.
Yep.
The one that says when he does that thing, he said purify. Whatever he does.
Yeah, because he's the only late, he's the only late, Mondstadt one that was released with the sword.
Yeah, but that was during like Natlin. Yeah, that's from
Yeah,
5.7.
5.7. That's definitely
That
much
was
newer
during
than
that.
4.0.
Yeah, but that was like during the Natlin arc. That's what it was. Like from that stuff. Like that was during like the church trial. When Albedo was getting trialed on.
Divination is
That's
about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over embellishing that fate only leads to misconception. I'm thinking Mona. What do you think?
sounds like it.
Yep. Because she's the tutor, the 2D or the student of Barbeloth, Old Hag, or Barbie,
Mhm.
whichever nickname you want to use for
Yeah.
her.
Soon enough, we'll have be playable.
Daily ability. Who? What's round but fire like that? I don't think that's Chi Chi.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm just trying to think here. I'm guessing with the way that looks, that's either like a pyro or something, yeah. But who has what looks to be like fire or something in their kits? I think I'll just go ahead and do a guess at Durin because I don't have him, so I don't recognize what his skills look like.
Hmm.
Nope. Uh, could be Electro or something too. It's hard to say with just that. Who else could that be? It's not Dea. Actually, that shows more of an ability of what it is. Um, let's see here. I'm guessing this is Animo. It's gotta be. Trying to remember where that's from.
Hmm?
Is that like Haizu or Kazuha?
Hmm. I don't recognize that image.
It's not Kazuha.
Does it look like you have to unlock the hint to see what it is?
No, I'm just thinking. I'll figure it out. I think I may know whose this is. And of course, the reason why I'm so stumped, it's of course a character I don't have.
Mm.
However, I'm suspecting that Pip likely is going to know this one quite well. It's Chaska. And it's her burst.
Mm.
Daily
They
emotes.
tricked. That's why they tricked you. It was upside down.
Yeah.
Oh
I know
shit.
it can be in any direction. Okay, who's known for their bow? Amber. Cryo. Ganyu. Mammoth. It's not Diona. It's got to be Aloy because of the game that she's from. Yep. Oh, face palm for the last one. You know what they're saying there, right? All right, so I was thinking we could watch some of these. Start with this one first.
Odette, your technique is flawless. What you need to work on is conveying feeling and emotion. Stop. You're hiding behind other people's emotions, Odette. Show me how you feel.
In this land of relentless snow and never-ending winter, what is there to feel? I feel anger, resentment, and hatred. Where do these feelings fit in? On the stage.
Let's leave it there. Does it hurt? Here, let me help.
Don't worry, Mom. feeling pain a long time ago.
I suppose that trailer will make a lot more sense once we know her story.
Well, there's already a character's demo of her already,
Yep.
and the music is so peaked. They they always make great music.
Well, let's see that one next then. Ouch. I see. She's
Great
very...
music, right?
Yeah, it's good music. Although I know that she is Fatui, so having her learn combat, but basing her combat
Mhm.
around her skills as a ballerina.
Yes, yes, and I don't think you did the teapot with the the tea party thing when you do the invitation with Alikino. They do mention Odette on that one.
Ah,
Do you want me to tell you?
not just yet.
Maintenance and modification don't come cheap. If it takes skipping a couple meals to cover the cost, so be it. Why don't I help you get your hands on some rare wild game? When you're off the beaten path in Snezhnaya, knowing the local code is an important skill. Basically an easy target. Go ahead and rot them blind.
Hey, welcome to the stream. How should you save for Odette? I'll answer that in just a moment once this is over.
Prey spotted. Here, boy. Hello. I'm Alosha. I'm a hunter. Tugarin, don't shake.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to say your name. Dana? Can I just call you Dana? Uh, how should you save for Odette, considering Odette's coming out tonight? The time period of saving is over, and now it's the time period of trying to earn to get her if you don't have enough wishes. So, the easiest or the best ways to farm wishes right now is you're going to want to get your exploration done ASAP. Get as many Primogems that way as possible. The Archon quests are a great source where you can get some of them from there, especially you'll get some wishes from there. If you haven't done Abyss and Imaginarium just yet, those will work. You can get all the Primogems you can from Stygian just by doing the level 3 hard, which you can do in co-op by finding a group, so you can get carried if you need help on that. So there's a lot of things you can do in game to try to earn Primogems in order to get her. But hard pity is 180 wishes. So, the statistical average cost is 110 wishes. So, and you'll likely earn 60-ish wishes if you do everything in the first half of the patch, maybe. So I'm not sure if you don't have anything now, if you could get her. It would be heavily dependent on luck, depending on how many wishes you have now, compared to what you can earn. And also what your pity is currently at, and if you're on guaranteed or not. All that affects it. Now, I tend to heavily plan out my wishing quite a bit. Mike can vouch for that. Hey, Mike? Or is he still here?
What?
Oh, I was about to say, you can vouch that I heavily plan my wishes.
Yes, I have too.
Yep. So, I'm always planning several patches ahead and banking up my wishes using the numbers from what I'd expect for what it costs to actually get or to get characters, and then I plan things around that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the message for server maintenance. So we can't do anything in game just yet. But that means the game's up to date on my end. I can close the game now and just wait for when they come back up around 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. So we got a few hours still. It's only 8:44.
Yep. It'll be a while till the maintenance be completed.
It's about 2 hours, 15 minutes approximately, give or take.
Yep.
I'm sitting on over 200 wishes myself, so I'm guaranteed to get Odette. However, I don't plan to get her weapon. That's too much because I don't have enough for where I'd be comfortable getting both. And then I'm going to want to save wishes for later.
Yeah, I don't know about for me. I'd maybe skip it on that.
You might skip her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair too.
It'd be tough choices to me to pick, you know?
Yeah, I hear rumors that we're going to get 2 new 5-stars that I want both of them coming out next patch too in 7.1.
Yes. Voinista and Vesta. Yes.
And those were 2 of my list I said after I saw that initial teaser.
Yep. Yep.
So I got annoyed on that. And they want to release those before the Cryo Archon 2, and that's really annoying.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to join you in the I'm Cooked section.
It's just gonna be crazy, Tetsu. That's what's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Even don't forget, we're gonna get the traveler's getting to get his own signature weapon.
Oh, that I'm excited for.
And that's gonna be during when we do the Archon quest. That's how we get it.
I also found out Odette's favorite food, and so I can
You
do
already
my
made
wishing
it?
ritual tonight.
What, you already made it?
Yep.
What was it?
So, she's the type of food that she eats. She likes to eat stuff where she can watch her weight because of her profession, of course. And one of her favorite food is she likes to going for the discount salads at the end of the day that didn't sell out through the day. They're not nearly as good as when they're fresh, but they're older salads already, and she's just fond. She has the nostalgia for the old salad. So I got leftover salad from
Oh,
yesterday that I have sitting in the fridge right now that's ready to pull out for when she's ready to, or I'm ready to wish for her.
oh, I see.
And it's Caesar salad that I got. I did keep the croutons separate rather than mixing them in, so that way they're not all soggy by now.
I see.
But I can't touch that until when I'm ready to wish.
I still, I still can't wait when we do the stuff when we finally meet the ruler of death. But people saying that it's gonna be similar because it happened on the Honkai Star Rail. It's similar reaction what happened to Paimon, you know, and that's March. Like she had the similar story like what's going on in this one. Someone
Yeah.
put the comparison on that. I was like, uh oh.
Well, Paimon's definitely going to be involved in the next Archon quest, so I'm wondering what we're going to learn from that.
Imagine because people say in theories Paimon could be the ruler of space.
Yeah, I
Because
heard
whenever
that theory quite a while ago.
yeah, because whenever Nova is still looking for her, and she's here and instead not trying to look for Asmermonde, you know, all this time.
All right, got my hands on another can of the second brew, or the next brew. Having stuff that's not going to be so friendly with the kiddos.
Oh man, we're gonna encounter a lot of creatures, like mostly beast people on this area.
Oh, yeah.
Because they showed on the if you saw the YouTube show, you see a cat using his tail fishing in the ice lake. I'm like, what the heck is this?
They'll be friends for Kiara.
No kidding. But for you, you'll be like, "Hi, how are you?" They'll attack you. You're like, "Hey, I'm just trying to say hello." That's what you'd be saying, like. That's what you'd be saying. You're like rude. And don't forget there'll be different species of animals we have to discover so we can put in our like in the archives too. Don't forget
Yep.
about that.
All right. I think I got names on this here. I think I should change the name of the top one here. Okay. So I was thinking of making a tier list here in Genshin, and this is going to be it definitely is going to be opinion based on how I feel about my characters on my wishing decisions. Do I enjoy them? Were they good for their time, and I just plays with them, or do I just not really use them much anymore? Now, this is going to be strictly for the 5 stars because 4 stars you end up picking up naturally, anyways. And I'm not going to rank the standard banner characters because there's not a single time that I've deliberately wished for a standard banner character. Like I didn't wish for Tignari's banner or Mizuki's banner. I skipped all those, and then I now think about getting them during the anniversaries if I really want to get them. So, because I did not dedicate wishes to those characters, I'm not going to be putting them on this list here. And how I decide to rank these, as a disclaimer, can be very different than the way you would rank them yourselves, because you may enjoy characters differently than I do. And that's perfectly okay. And that's actually expected, actually. So for the tiers, I'm going to have like the top tier for 100% enjoy. This is where I absolutely love the fact that I got them. Then pleased with, where, yeah, okay, I use them. They're okay. And I'll use them from time to time. Got, but didn't really use. So if I pick them up and I didn't really use them even after getting them, I'll put them there. But that's also where it's like, okay, I have them for collection's sake. And then regret pulling ones I should not have pulled of in the first place. There's not much that's going to go in there because of the way I plan my wishes. There's 2 in particular that I know that's going to go in here. There's the would love to get, but couldn't afford the wish cost because I'm not whaling. I'm not going to be swiping my card for wishes. And there's still characters I would have loved to have gotten, but I just couldn't. Would like to have, but not worth the wish cost, even if I had them. So even if I had the spare wishes, I probably wouldn't put them there because I'd rather put them into something more valuable. And of course, the characters I don't have that I just don't care that I don't have. The fact that I'm 100% okay skipping them with no regrets whatsoever. So first one for that tier is going to be Varka. Now, he does okay. You do need to invest in his team, though, because you want Nicole, Durin, and Prune to fill out his team to get the best effect out of him, and you do want his signature weapon for it. So he is kind of like a high cost team, but he will perform pretty well if you have all that. But it wouldn't be something I would focus on. It just doesn't fit my account. Venti, I consider getting him in long past as a second grouper because I didn't have Kaza for a bit because I got Jean on his first banner and then I had to get him on his rerun. And then after I got Kazuha, it's just, why would I want to get Venti? Because I have both Sucrose and Kazuha, and they did more than Venti, and that was before he got buffed. And now that he got buffed, he's now more of like an on-field damage carry for his role. And it's not that high, but again, it's not waifu, so I don't want him in that role. The next one is Zhao. This is before I enabled my self-account rule, before I figured out the wishing system. I did end up getting him on his release banner, and I just don't use him at all. Okay, next one would be Cloud Retainer. Now, she enables a lot of crazy teams, which I have taken advantage of. So she's enabled plunge teams and all that stuff, and she's an animal healer that can take advantage of Viridescent. Wasn't that huge of a fan of her design. It just didn't seem quite where I'd like it, but she did all right. but I don't use her all that much. I use her a bit with Vrissa. I've did some other plunge teams for the fun of it. She's more of a meme team, but I haven't really used her all that much, and I didn't use her on too many teams. I'm going to put got, but don't really use much. Next would be Kazuha. Now, he's actually an excellent support. I used to use him a lot previously, but I haven't been using him nearly as much because Sucrose has been doing a much better job than he's been doing because of teams not scaling off of his buff, but scaling off Sucrose's instead. Now, I've always had the opinion that Kazuha and Sucrose are about equally as strong and equally as good for your account. However, they help entirely different teams. So they both do VV Shred, they both do grouping. Kazuha's grouping is a little bit better, but there's a lot of content in the game where grouping just doesn't matter, so I don't really hold that as too high of a power for him. His special thing is that he's good at buffing elemental damage bonus for the whole team based off of the element he swirls. So characters that can scale off of the elemental damage will actually do really well with Kazuha on the team. But Sucrose buffs elemental mastery instead. And teams that scale better off elemental mastery are better with Sucrose. And a lot of the current teams, that's the lunar charge teams or the lunar teams, none of them like to scale off of elemental damage bonus, but they all scale off of EM because they're all reactions. So naturally, Sucrose is going to do a whole lot better for those teams than Kazuha. But I still rate Kazuha pretty highly because lunar teams are not the only teams that exist in the game. There's still a lot of teams that people use that could actually use the elemental damage that he does. And he also has excellent grouping. So I think I'm going to put him in 100% Enjoy because he definitely was a good boost to my account and definitely worth the wish investment for me. Would you agree, Mike?
Yeah.
Next, Wanderer. He's definitely going to go in the don't have, don't care. I don't mind that I don't have him. He takes investment to be a mediocre DPS, like a decent DPS for his time, but he's kind of fallen off on that. He could use some buffs. His team's now is where he's just the on-field driver and it's the rest of the team doing damage. He's also not waifu and doesn't support waifu, so he's not really a key to my account. Alright, so next will be Chaska. I wasn't a huge fan of her design. She's got like that Western cowboy theme, which I'm not a huge fan of. Her kit's decent. She's an Anemo on-field damage carry, but she doesn't focus on Anemo damage. She focuses on infused damage instead. So that's the reason why I wasn't too keen on getting her, because I do want to have like a damage carry for every element. But since she focuses on infused damage, she does other elements of damage. She didn't quite fit the Anemo damage for me, and there's no other waifu character that does that. And she also released right before Movika, and I was saving for Movika. And she never ran at a time where I could really afford the wishes. But she's not one that I want to focus on anyway, so I think I might put her in this category. Would like to have, but not worth the wish costs, even if I had them. Now, I'm not saying she's a bad character. She's definitely a good character and can be quite strong. I know another streamer who absolutely loves her. And they play her a lot and get really good use out of her. So she's definitely strong for them. Okay, next would be Albedo. Now, Albedo is in a pretty interesting place on my account. Like, he did recently get some Hexcry buffs, so I used him a bit after that, but there was a time he definitely dropped off my account. Now, he's not completely benched now, The reason why I got him initially is because I wanted to do a Noel damage carry back earlier in the game. And the problem with Noelle is her energy. So she really needed Geo batteries with her that could feed her energy, so that way she can burst reliably. And Albedo was a fantastic battery, but for the caveat that his flower didn't get deleted every 2 seconds by the enemy, which was a big problem with his, and we call that the Albedo problem. Now, since he got his Hexfry buffs, it's not as bad as it used to be. Now he has that extra flower that shows up even if his main flower gets destroyed, and he can still do off-field hits and still generate energy. And his hits are a lot stronger now, especially with the Hexfry buffs, but you need a Hexfry team for him. So I did use him with Klee as a Hexfry enabler, and he actually works well with her because the Geocrystallized shields helps out with keeping Klee alive since she's basically armored with wet tissue paper. And then, but that's about the extent that I use for him. You can get one of his constellations for free, and since I got Nicole, I don't really use him with Klee as much anymore because Nicole just does a much better job. Stronger shield for protecting her. Not really good. She has like no personal DPS, but her buff to the whole team really makes up for it. So the only real use I get of them now is Imaginarium Theater, so I'm wondering if I should put under Pleased With or Got, but don't really use much. I think I might put them there because I don't really use them all that much outside of Imaginarium Theater anymore. Now, Zhongli is the next one. I used to use him a lot when I first got him. And then now, these days, I hardly ever use them. Now, he does reduce shred by 20% for the team. Even if I think I have him on 4-set tenacity, so his pillar hits could still trigger the 20% attack buff to the party, but his pillars have really short range. He sees 0, so I can only have 1 pillar out at a time. And things like to destroy his pillars all the time for bosses, so it's really hard getting the pillars close to where they can activate the buff. So the most I'm getting out of him is a shield of 20% resist shred. And his burst is a DPS loss. So I don't really use him at all. But his shield does come in a pinch sometimes, so I think I'll put him in this category. Next is Zabai. Now, she does have a really nice design. She is the latest Geo carry, and I think she would make a great addition to my account. It's just she ran at a time when there's too many other characters for me to pull for. So I think I'll put her in would love to get but couldn't afford the wish cost. So sometimes you have to make that hard decision. You can't get every character if you're not going to be a whale. And whaling is not worth it in Genshin. So sometimes you have to choose. Next is Ito. He's easily going to be in the don't have, don't care, not waifu, doesn't support waifu. Hey, welcome to stream. Are you excited for 7.0 launch? Is there anyone you plan to wish for coming up in 7.0, or are you planning just to save your wishes for later?
Mhm.
Ooh, you're gonna pull for Flynn's. Do you have Inefa? And Omega? Yeah, Inefa, yeah. That's gonna be a lot of wishes. That's 2 5-star characters right there. Do you have Columbina? Nice. So, add Sucrose to the mix, and you have Flynn's top team. Oh, so you got her on her release. That's great. Yeah, I know what you meant. Because I know she didn't run 6.4 or 6.3 she released. And she didn't rerun until just recently. Inefa, Ino, Flynn's, Columbina. Columbina does have enough hydro application to keep up the thunderclouds for that team. So you'll have easily enough of the for the electro charge or lunar charge in that case. So you can actually replace Ino with Sucrose, which will give the entire party an absolutely massive elemental mastery buff. And then Flynn's will just eat that up along with Columbina and Inefa. All three of them will be massively buffed by Sucrose. So even if you don't have them built with that much EM, you can focus on their stats that increase their other stats that increase their damage. So Inefa would be like attack power and crit stats. Flynn's is attack and crit, I think, and Columbina's HP and crit. And that way you're not worrying about their elemental mastery. And then when Sucrose comes in, she can easily buff a massive amount to the entire party, and all their damage will skyrocket. Because you'll just compound all the benefits of all the other stats. And it's exceedingly powerful. I do a similar team where I call it Lunar Fox. So instead of Flynn's, I use Yamiko. And I've done 231k DPS with that team, where it's Yamiko, Columbina, Inefa, and Sucrose. And the entire party just benefits from Sucrose's presence quite a lot. It's more so than any other Animo character in the game. And VV Shred that Sucrose can do also helps with the lunar charge damage because it does go off of the enemy's electro resistance. Okay, next will be Chiori. So, Chiori, I haven't been using quite as much, but I do still like using her a lot. My Chiori is actually quite strong, and I didn't overly invest into her. I did get her C1 R0 on her release. And then when I was going for Shalonen's signature weapon, I managed to get her weapon at extremely low wish cost. So she's C1 R1. And now that she's added to the free Constellator, I can get her Constellation 2. Oh, it's 4 a.m. That's quite late. So yeah, definitely get some sleep and have yourself a good night. So, oh yes, I do. Let me get the link for you. Okay, here we go. There we go. My Discord's right there. I actually have a Discord group. All right, and thank you. I think I'll just do this here. Pin. Okay, so back to Chiori. Her Constellation 1 used to be okay previously. Like, it essentially allowed her to have both of her dolls out, even if you didn't have a Geo construct. It just required a Geo character in the party. So her C1 allowed her to work with Navia and Noelle, or even doing a wheelchair duo with Jalonin. So she's great with all those with her C1, but ever since they introduced the lunar crystallize, the 3 lunar pillars that goes up when you activate it, those count as a geo construct too, and they allow allow Chiori to have 2 dolls regardless without needing her C1. Her C1 also increases the range of her dolls, so they can attack things that are further away, and it is a decent increase. So at least her C1 makes it so you don't have to worry about positioning as much. But at this point, I wouldn't really call it critical, especially if you're using her on some sort of lunar team, which she is actually great on. My Navia got bumped up to like around 170k DPS range with Navia, Columbina, Chiori, and then Linnea. And that gets me around 170k DPS. Not my highest, but for Navia, that's actually pretty good for C0R1 Navia. But her C2 is going to make her burst useful because it's going to add more damage to her from her burst. So it'll actually make it worth casting. So I'm going to put her up into 100% Enjoy because I do really enjoy using her. Navia, her damage has always been good for me. Like, I got her signature weapon off of a 10-pull What If, because that was... I got her C0R0 on her launch, and when she released right after Columbina. I burnt out all my wishes in Columbina, and I only had like 60 wishes saved up. I went ahead and I did some wishes for Navia. I managed to get her winning the 50-50. That was pure luck. I've used her from time to time in endgame content. I even used her on the Gecko boss and Saijin. And I think I did like 70-something seconds on level 5 Fearless. And on Dire mode, a Caesar R1 Navia barely... I was like 5% away from getting it killed on my best attempt on Dire. So, considering the investment, I think I did as best as I probably could with her. But she's still a pretty fun character to use. Her E skills are pretty satisfying when you have big shotgun blasts going off. It's a bit inconsistent because positioning is so important with her. But she's just a very fun character to use. I don't use her all the time, so I think I'm going to put it into Pleased With. So I am very happy I got her. And her signature weapon, when Escoffier came out, I did do a 10-pull just in case. And that's when I got her signature weapon. So that worked out. Jalonin. I'm definitely going to put it up to 100% Enjoy. She's been a very proactive support on my account. She does so much with her Resist Shred, Center City buffing, and everything that she does on that, along with healing on top, that's optional. And her open world movement, and the fact that she's really good with climbing and such, that saved me a lot of hassle with a lot of things. I'm definitely going to put her at 100% Enjoy. Now, I spent 10 wishes to get her. 20 wishes on her weapon banner to get her, and in the process of getting her weapon at 20 wishes, I also got Chiori's weapon. So I invested 30 wishes in her, got C0R1 of her, and Chiori's signature all at the same time. So absolutely worth it for me, especially at the investment right before Malvika, and that allowed me to have so many wishes for Malvika's banner. That was great. Next will be Linnea. Hmm. Now, I got her because she's adorable. I didn't get her weapon. I spent very few wishes on her. I just went for C0 of her. So I think I'm going to put her under Pleased With. I don't use her quite as much because I didn't really build out the Lunar Crystallized teams on my account. But she is there opening up options for me with Navia and Noelle. So I think I'll put under Pleased With. The fact that she's also a healer on top of being a sub DPS does help out. And it has allowed me to get away with a few things in different content. Next is Raiden Shogun. Where would I place her?
That's possibly the strongest person in all Tibet.
I'm thinking that lore-wise, Venti and Zhongli are up towards her power, and Zhongli, I think, is stronger than her in combat. In lore. Not in actual
Maybe,
toolkit, but
but he is the oldest of the all the arc.
he is the oldest. He's over 6,000 years old, easy.
Yes. Yes.
Raiden is what? A couple thousand years old? No, Venti
Yeah, but
is
he
26.
But he admit on the story the Raiden is like the strongest Archon. He may be the oldest, but that's what he said.
Now, I've used her for a number of teams coming up, but when's the last time I really used her seriously? And not as a meme for something else. I know I used her on some overload teams. And the very first Stygian Onslaught that came out, where we had Lava Dragon in it, the very, very first one, I did use her with Yae Miko as an overload team with Chevreuse, and I wasn't quite able to get Dire down, but I did get a good time on Fearless. That's another one that was close in getting Dire down, but not. And I did see a video on YouTube of someone clearing Dire with a C0 Yae Miko. Their damage output for the whole team was like a third of my damage output, but they somehow got the boss down before I was able to. So I thought that their video was likely faked. Because you can't do a third of the damage and have it down faster. And as far as the amount of times that the boss is dropped, where it does take a set amount of the boss's health, I probably had one extra time that I had it brought down for that as well. So there's no way that they were able to get it down legitimately. But I think that's the last time I really used Raiden Shogun, so I don't really use her much anymore, and she's kind of like old on my account. She does need some buff. She needs something that brings her back to relevancy. Yeah, she can work for Quick Bloom and Hyper Bloom teams. But then again, that was only really widely used back in Sumeru and Fontaine. But once Natlan came out, you don't really see much for the Dendro teams anymore. Or at least not the Hyper Bloom teams. Next is Yae Miko. I bet Mike will never guess where Yae Miko is going to go. The one person's been I've been a Yae Miko main ever since her release in patch 2.5, and I mained her all the way up until now, and I'm still maining her currently. So at no point did I ever stop maining her. I'm going to put her up in 100%. Now, I skipped most of Sumeru, So I could also focus on getting her constellations. I got her C6R1 without having to wail on it. But in all of Sumeru, I only picked up 3 new characters. And all the rest of my Sumeru wishes got dumped into Yamiko reruns. Although I only needed 4 copies of her during Sumeru in order to get her C6, because I got her C2R1 on her release banner, because I saved up for that too. Next, Sino. He was a joke when he released. Of course, not waifu, not supporting a waifu, but when he released and going on for quite a long time, he was the joke of raw characters. So he had technical problems with his kit because he couldn't swap off to allow like Nihida to retag things, and he worked best in a quick bloom team. And he wasn't quick swap friendly like some other characters were, so he kind of fell behind in that. And also, he was bad for multi-wave content. Overload kind of saved him a bit because you can do Overload version of him that's not as punishing as far as multi-wave content, but he never really shone about that. But since he got his stellar buffs, and now that Odette's coming out, once you get Odette and Ye to go party with him, now it's the joke's on you. He's actually a fairly strong character now, and definitely worth for a lot of people, if you really like him, to be able to use him to be a damage carrier in your account. Now, he's not going to be top meta, but he's definitely usable now. Although, the fact that I skipped him, I do have a lot of Electro on my account as it is. And I can definitely already make use of the Stellar Conduct without him. So, I'm not really all that concerned about not having him on my account. So, I will not be going for him, and I don't really want him on my account either. Next would be Chlorant. She's a decent on-field electro damage carry. She can work with Quick Bloom, Aggravate. She would work actually quite well with like mono teams or whatever. Lunar Charge she'll work with well if you have the Benefa with her. So she does perform pretty decently. Not top meta, but still can service you quite well if you have her. But I just have too much competition for the field. And I'm not her design doesn't quite speak to me all that much. So I wouldn't mind having her on my account, but I wouldn't want to put the wish cost into her. Next would be Verissa. Now, I got her C1R0. She is pretty fun to use. I'm not going to lie about that. She can sometimes go way off in left field with the way her kit, with the AI on her targeting with her charge, and then do her plunge attack. And she's also great for the jokes because of the butt jokes with her. So I think I'm going to put on her pleased with. Like, her damage is definitely good. Her teams are... she's best on Overload, but she works with Lunar and some other teams as well. She's great for Imaginarium Theater. So, anytime I have to put her in a team for Imaginarium Theater, she does the job pretty well. So, I think I'll put her there. Now, Inefa. She brought my Yamiko into a whole new level of enjoyment with the Lunar teams. So I'm going to put her to 100% enjoy. She's not quite as flexible because she just only really works on the Lunar Charge teams. But she has carried a few teams in Imaginarium Theater. And she elevated my Yamiko to the first time before she got buffed. I got my Yamiko to 195k DPS, and that's with her help, and her shield is a big asset too. And considering how easy she is to use, I really enjoy the fact that I got her. Flynn's, predictably, he's going to go down here. He's not taking my Yamiko's place. No way in hell. And he's also not waifu, doesn't support waifu, so he is pretty easy to go down there. Next to be Baiju. I'm going to put in God, but don't really use much, because I haven't used them from quite a while. Like, okay, I'll use them in Imaginarium Theater, but that's about it. There's not many teams now that I've been playing that really uses him, but he was a cornerstone. Actually, I might put him up here because of that. He was a cornerstone in Gamiko Quick Bloom in the older days before we got Lunar. And he did see a lot more usage on my Dendro teams when I was still doing them. He's still a fairly easy healer to use. His elemental skill heals the entire party. His burst heals the on-field character, but also provides the on-field character interruption resistance through a unique mechanic, where it gives you like 1 instance of interruption immunity every 2.5 seconds. So that works out. So I think I'll put him there, and I still use him from time to time. Nahida. She was the first big power spike to my Yamiko. I did get her C2R1 on her release. A lot of that was from luck, because I think I got that in like 270 wishes where I got her C2R1 in. If I recall correctly. She was like the ultimate combo with my Yamiko, and I even done 2-character 412 with just Yamiko and her, where there's like no defense and all just pure damage between the two of them. That worked out quite nicely. She enabled a lot of Dendro teams. My Nefer team uses her because she also grants the Lunar Bloom another 10-20 crit ratio with her C2. So I'm going to put her into 100% Enjoy, because I've used her quite a lot, and she's been very valuable on my account. Alhaitham. Not waifu, doesn't support waifu. He goes down there. Now, he was a meta Dendro damage carry when he released. His power was in Quick Bloom, where he was doing both aggravates and hyper blooms at the same time. And the electro trigger for hyper blooms, usually Kuki Shinobu or Ryan Shogun, would be on full EM builds to max out the hyper bloom damage, while he can focus on the quicken reaction for his... It's not aggravates, he does quicken, because it's the Dendro side of the quicken reaction. So he'll be doing... Although, with the way the scaling has gone in Power Creep, he's not quite as good as he used to be, and he never really was beneficial on any of the Lunar teams either. So, hopefully, Rhymegas brings him back for the people who are fans of him, because there are still a number of players that do like Alhaitham. And he's more buff than Ito. Now, Emily. I end up having to skip her because every time she ran, I had bigger priorities to go through for wishing. I do like her design. She is a cute character. However, I couldn't really invest the wishes into her. She's very limited to burning teams, and she's best with Kenichi, which is a character that I am not going for at all. But there's other teams I could have done with her for burning that would have worked out quite nicely. Ooh, 800 pulls there. Is there anyone in particular that you're saving those for? Because I've never saved 800 wishes at once. Ooh, C6R1 Odette. Now, statistical average wish cost for every desired 5-star character and weapon is 110 wishes. So 770 wishes, no, 880 wishes is going to be your statistical average to get all that. So I really hope your luck is better than average. You're likely going to get the extra 80 wishes just from doing that many wishes in the first place because of all the extra 4-stars you'll be getting that will convert into extra free wishes when you get them back. But with 800 wishes, I really hope you do get the C6R1. I can only imagine how crazy that's going to perform once it's all done. And once you have her fully built. But good luck. Ooh. That's going to be hard to save for in that amount of time if you spend all your wishes on Odette. So the only way you're really going to get that reasonably that I can think of is by swiping, and that's not something I recommend. But Odette does seem like a very key support to me, and that's why I do want to get her, especially since she's going to help my Yae Miko, and also she's actually good with Mizuki too, and I do like Mizuki. Yeah, that's what I won't do myself. If I had an extra $1,000 to put into something, I wouldn't be putting it into Genshin. I have other things I can think of that I can put that $1,000 to in real life that would be more impactful to myself than just a video game. I also have one of those pesky things called a mortgage. Now, for Ganich, not waifu, doesn't support waifu, easily goes there. Okay, Nefer. She is actually my best damage carry currently in the game. That's good, man. This is just escape. Responsibility comes first, always. Yeah, of course. I know I'm very casual when it comes to content creation and streaming and such, so I'm not treating it as my job. I do still work a full-time job outside of this, so... You know, you gotta take care of yourself, right? Nefer is actually pretty fun to play. Now, she does have a lazy way of playing her, and there's a way to play her to get more damage out of her. So you can do the dash cancels on her charge attacks to speed up her use in the rotation. And you can actually speed up your rotations that way and get more DPS out of her. And by doing so, I got up to, 334k DPS? But that wouldn't be without Nefer, or Llama. I got Llama C0R1. Oh, correction. I have her C2R0. I didn't get her signature weapon. I just used the event weapon from 6.0 because it was very close in performance to her signature weapon. And I like the heavy ER anyways, because it just makes her more reliable in content like Saijin. And her buff is absolutely massive at C2, and it absolutely just demolishes stuff with Nefer. So I've been really enjoying them. Lauma is technically power creep to Nihida, but she only really works on Lunar Bloom teams and Hyper Boom and, well, any type of Bloom teams. Alright, so next is going to be Yelan. She has been a very powerful support on my account. I have her C2R0, so she has the extra Hydro application. And she's been a keystone support on my account for the longest time. I've used her in so much content. I do believe that the wishes I invested in her was absolutely worth it. Her damage is also really good as well. Her open world exploration ability for getting around quickly, that's also been helpful. And she's very easy to use, especially with the amount of Viera I have on her for the reliability of her burst. She basically works on most teams that I do normal attacks on. So I'm definitely putting her under 100% enjoy. She's been very valuable to my account. Next will be Coco Fish. Proper name, Kokomi. I used her a bit with lunar teams because I had her built on a... Well, I've changed her build a number of times in just last region alone. She started on a build that was a general healer build where it was 4-set clam and just built for her healing, and she was like a general support for quite a bit. So I used her with Yaemiko in her very early teams to where... Well, for example, in 2.5, I had a Taser comp with Yaemiko, Kokomi, Fischl, and Sucrose. And that was my first dedicated Yaemiko team since her release. And then that tied me over until Dendro buffed Yaemiko. And she actually worked pretty well for that. Then she's like a good general healer on the account where I didn't have to worry about any of my characters dying, and I could slot her into a number of different teams. But where she really came together for her value was at the very start, before I got Nefer. Oh, actually, even when I had Nefer, I built her where I put her on 4-set, it's that 4-star set, Instructors, where if she got a reaction, especially if you have Dendro in the party, she'd pretty much guaranteed get the reaction for generating blue. And that'll buff the whole party for 120 EM. I gave her an R5 sacrificial fragments, even though she didn't scale with the EM on a Nefer team because Nefer disables the bloom for bloom damage, so Kokomi wouldn't be getting any benefit from that. The passive effect where it reset the cooldown on her skill, so I can much more easily keep up the jellyfish uptime and be able to move around if I need to, really helped out with that portion, and she did heal more than enough on that type of set and still be able to provide the team with buffs. And that's for times when I couldn't put Columbina with them, and that was before my Llama had constellations, so I did need a healer before I got Llama constellations. And as far as using in Saijin, she's been quite good there. I'm going to put her under Pleased With. I got her pretty early pity, winning a 50-50 too, so she wasn't that high of investment for me, and she's C0, and I used basically a free-to-play accessible weapon for her, so, and I didn't get her signature because I didn't think I needed it. So I'm going to put her in Pleased With. I think with the investment I put into her, she's been doing wonders in my account. So I'll put her there. Ayato. Easy choice. He's a Hydro on-field driver. He's supposed to be a Hydro DPS, but his damage is kind of low for his personal damage. And his main benefit comes to the fact that he's Hydro on field attack with his skill and spams normal attack, so he'd be a Hydro driver for off-field characters doing the actual damage. So I end up skipping him because I didn't see much value in my account with him. There's probably ways I could make him work on my account, but again, he's not waifu and doesn't support a waifu, so I'm not going to bother. Nilou. I don't know what I should put her under. Put back down here for now. Now, I do like the fact that I got her. I did get her C0R1, and Super Bloom teams are pretty fun with her. The problem with that is that there's a lot of abysses that we've had in endgame content where her Super Bloom was not very effective because the way the fights were set up, Super Bloom did not do as much as what you'd want it to do. But for the times where she does work, she absolutely bombs it. Like, I remember a while ago, we had a Spiral Abyss, her number of times, actually, where we had, like, triple Genki in there, for example. Nilou is an absolute monster on those teams. The number of blooms going out, and the amount of damage I was doing with them, with the characters, great. I did get her C1 from the free constellation thing, so now her water ring lasts, I can keep that up basically 100% of the time. So I can now use her with Nefer and Lelma when I can't have Columbina with them. So I think I'm going to put under pleased with, because I do use her from time to time, and I still have options with them, so I can still use her now. Next is Nouvelette. Now, I did skip him. I never got him on my account, so I have absolutely 0 wishes invested into him. When he released, he was the meta of Hydro on-field damage carry. He did really well in single target, but he really excelled in AoE fights, because especially with the spin to win, if you can get the mouse DPS or DPI high enough, and just have him spin like a top, there's no fight that he couldn't just blast down with his water cannon in AoE, especially with AoE. Now, as time went on, his damage ceiling is now lower than a lot of modern DPSs that are out now. So he's no longer like the meta character to have. He did fall off on that, but he's still quite usable. So if you already have Nouvelette, you can still definitely make use of him. He works with lunar teams, because you can do lunar charge with him especially with Inefa. And you can actually throw Yehoda in with that team too for the VV shred, and you get the level 2 moon sign that way. Now, Farina, I'm going to put her into up here. So, Farina's release, I saved so many wishes for her. When Yamiko reran May 2023, that's the last time I wished, and I didn't wish again until Farina's release half a year later, November 2023. I also got 2 Farinas in a single 10 pull. That was awesome. And I managed to get her C4-1 on her release. Now, her C4 made her signature weapon exceedingly valuable, so I'm glad I got that. And her personal damage is actually pretty crazy. It's more than what my Elon does. And for the longest time, just her damage alone was enough to just demolish floor 12 Abyss. And she has been very valuable in my account. Any team that scaled off of bonus damage or element, like any type of bonus damage, just excelled with her in the party. Her only caveat is that she wanted a healer. If she's healing herself, it made everything else she brings a lot less valuable. so she wasn't quite good at being the healer herself, but just being the sub DPS and buffer for the party, she really uplifted my account, and I used her so much. So I'm definitely gonna put her up to 100% enjoy. The wishes I saved for her, I think they were well spent on my account, so I'm gonna keep her there. Okay, Siegeween. She's actually a pretty fun healer to use. She actually doesn't take much time off my account. I did get her Constellation 1 just so I can greatly improve her party buff for increasing the damage of off-field elemental skill hits, because it's a type of bone damage. It scales much like Shenhust's damage does, or buff does. So the stronger the character she's buffing, the more they amplify her buff. My Yamiko, Farina, and Shiori, they're all busted. They really can scale the buff from Siegeween. So Farina and Shiori, they're getting like 35k extra damage per stack of her buff used. Yamiko was getting like extra 40k damage, and I think her C6 played a big role in that. So at C1, she got 18 stacks of her buff. So being the healer support, contributing over 600k damage per rotation, was quite a nice boost for the whole team. So, and she also made teams super comfortable with just the sheer amount of party healing that she did. So I'm very happy that I got her. She's now added to the free Constellation Selector, so I'm thinking of getting her she's not going to be my first pick, but I am thinking of getting her C2, because that will give her another 35% Hydro Resist Shred, so she'll just buff Farina even more. And those two make a nice duo combo. So that's going to work out for me, so I'm going to definitely put under Pleased with. Mulaney. She's an interesting one. I got her C0R1. She hits like an absolute truck, or at least she feels like she hits like a truck, but the teams I've used with her has not been the highest DPS on my account, but I can still get over 900k Sharky Bites on her. She is C0R1, so that's the level of investment in, and I did win the 50-50 on her and the 37.5% on her weapon, so it wasn't that bad for the wish investment. I did skip Emily in order to get her, but she has opened a number of things, and when we had that Emperor Crab in Stage and Onslaught, my Milani is what I used to take it down. So I was able to get that boss down, I think 85 seconds on Fearless mode with her, when that boss is more or less set for Nouvellette, and I didn't have Nouvellette. And so she is fun to use, but she's very punishing to use if things move around a lot, because it makes it hard to get your 3 Sharky stacks to do the big hits. And also, if you have to move a lot to try to get those stacks, then you can't do all 3 of them, because they'll just run out before she can do it, because she'll be wasting too much time. But once you can actually make use of all that, she's absolutely great to like. She's fun to use, but hard to use. So I'm gonna put under Pleased with, because I do use her. I've been using her in a Hextry comp recently, so yeah, that kind of works out. Next, Columbina. I'm definitely putting her up here. I got C2R1, so her personal damage is actually pretty insane. And she's been a big buff to all of my lunar teams. She helps my Yamiko, she helps my Nefer, she helps Noelle and Navia with Linnea, buffing them too. It's been a complete pleasure having her on my account, and fairly easy to use. Her support set works really well with her. It's great. Next, Tartaglia, otherwise known as Child. Now, second and the first half of patch 1.1, that early in the game, I still didn't quite figure out how banners work, but I did not really like Barbara at the time because she kept getting me frozen all the time with the way her elemental skill worked. So I wanted Diona to replace her. I got Child in the process of going for Diona. I've never used him once. I only leveled him to level 20 for the free wish, and then I never leveled him beyond that, and I've never, ever once used him. And if I knew the banners all the way back then, like I know them now, there's no way I would have gotten him on my account. He's also one of the characters that I personally do not like. Now, there are players who do like him as a character. That is your right. You're allowed to like whatever character you like, regardless, and my opinion on them should not factor into that. But for me, he's a character I don't like. Alright, Klee. She was the only exception that I made to my rule. She's not waifu, and she does not support waifu. But there's novelty in the fact that you can wreck stuff with a literal child in Genshin. And that's the reason why I got Klee. She was hard to use at the beginning until she got her extra buffs. Because to get some of the best performance out of her, you have to do the... basically you cycle your supports first, and then you do her skill, burst, and then you repeat the first stage of her normal attack plus a charge attack after that, and then just repeat that until her burst is out. And hope that the normal attacks trigger her spark so she can get a boosted charge attack. But that was not every charge attack. There was like a 4-second global cooldown on the... or intro cooldown on getting the spark, so she usually got that for a couple of her charge attacks in a rotation. And on top of doing all that, you had to animation cancel absolutely every stage of her thing. Because other than that, she was insanely slow with her animations, and it just took forever if you didn't do the animation canceling. And if you could pull off perfect timing, perfect rotation with her, she was nearly as good as Hu Tao with her DPS, early Hu Tao DPS. But if you couldn't pull that off, she was down towards Diluc level DPS without Diluc Plunge. Then Hexorite came along and sped up her normal attacks, made it so you didn't even have to weave in your own charge attacks. They happen automatically when her burst is active. You no longer have to do any animation canceling with her at all. You no longer have to save her stamina just for her charge attacks. Her damage got a boost as well, a pretty big boost, and now she can hold up to 3 of her sparks at once, so all of her charge attacks are boosted by her sparks, and those charge attacks do even more damage on top of that. And you can get her a Constellation 1 for free, which gives her another 60% attack when she already gets a ton of bonus damage, so that really helps her out a lot. So her actual performance is now up towards Arlecchino level in damage for DPS. And she's very decent if you want to do Fearless with her or less. She's been quite good in Imaginarium Theater for me, quite good in Abyss. Very solid character now after the Hexorite buffs, but I still use her before Hexorite buffs too because she was a pretty fun character to use. So I think I'm going to put her up in 100% Enjoy. Next is going to be Durin. He's actually a really good support in the game. Well, he's more of a sub DPS that supports the team, but he's definitely a really good character to get, and I would like to get him, but he ran at a time when my wishes were dedicated elsewhere. That's his problem with me. He's very solid performing character, good free-to-play value for a lot of people. He would have helped for Yaemiko Overload before Yaemiko buffs, where I could use her now with Cleave for an Overload team that way. He is also a really good support to go with Klee for Hextry teams. And him and Nicole together was actually a very big boost for almost any team that was attack scaling that Pyro wouldn't ruin the rotation for. Hu Tao. I'm going to put her down here. I don't regret pulling her because I literally got her on 3 pity. I only invested 3 wishes into her. I did not like her low HP playstyle early on in the game. Now, I used to main a healer in World of Warcraft for years before I started playing Genshin. So, always being at medium to low health and never healing myself up drove me insane. So, I could not play her. Yes, that's the way she normally plays. You normally play her with a shield. I had Zhongli. I could have very easily taken care of her in that regard and could easily make her work on my account. But the fact that just seeing her HP low all the time and knowing there's nothing I can do with it, I could not deal with that. That drove me up the wall. So she got benched pretty quickly. And then, once Jalonin and Sitlali and all that came out, she's now working on teams where it's okay if she's healed to full health and we don't take advantage of that part of the kit, and she still does decently well. And I did even pick up her free C1 from the free Constellation event. So that way I'm not worrying about that. But I just don't really find anywhere where I really enjoy using her. Now, she's an adorable character. I do like her as a character. But I just don't find it myself using her. And I overlook her all the time in Imaginarium. And I don't really use her seriously in any other content. So I'm going to put under this category here. Like, I don't regret getting her because the 3 wish costs, I put like next to nothing into her. And the fact that she's nice for collection for myself, I think she's like an ideal candidate for GOT, but don't really use much. All right, Yoimiya.
I'm gonna let you go. I'll be lurking your stream. My headset needs to charge.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
see
my
it.
headset was fully charged before starting, so I should be good on that, at least for myself.
I'll be still be your stream lurking. I'll see ya.
All right, see ya. Okay, next is Yoimiya. Now, she is a bit fun to use. I've used her in Vaporized teams because she works really well with Yuan and Jingshou and such. Early on, I could also use Firecracker team, which is an Overvape team, so I throw Official in there. I had Zhongli for her because she's one that did not want to interrupt her attack chain. I have her built with an EM Sands instead of attack because she still gets the Pyro Resonance and all that. She can still use Bennett. And with her Vaporize, she's still doing a fairly good chunk of damage that way. So I never really used her on Overload because I didn't want to farm the resin into getting an attack stance for her to really start benefiting from the Overload teams. She's a fun to use from time to time. But her damage, she definitely is in the need of buffs. I'm going to put her into GOT, but don't really use much, because it's been a while since I've actually really used her for anything. And she's more just Imaginarium Theater now. Lenny. Not waifu. Doesn't support waifu. He is one of the more complex characters used in the game. His damage is okay. He was actually the first character that was like serious power creep to Hu Tao for her throne, because she was like the meta pyro carry for a while. But the reason why people didn't jump ship on Hu Tao and go to Lenny is because Lenny was a lot harder to use. So a lot of people just stayed with Hu Tao rather than going to Lenny because that's what they already knew. They didn't have to relearn something that's difficult to do and more strict on team building for it. But I am glad that I didn't put the wishes on him, and even if I had him on my account, there's no way I would build him. Malvika. I'm going to put her into 100% Enjoy. She's been a great... I can use her as a support. I can use her as damage carry. She's got me through some good content. She's quite strong. I never really perfected the combos for her. But as far as just general use for her, she's been very good in my account. Her open world movement... In fact, I use her in so much of the different end games since her release. I'm definitely going to put her 100% Enjoy. She's definitely a strong character to have. Arlecchino. Very unpopular opinion. I did skip her. Now, she is a bit too tomboyish for my likes, so I wasn't that keen on her design. And she is a damage carry, so she was a lot more skippable for me. So I think I'm going to put her into don't care. Now, she's not the absolute top meta pyro damage carry, and her damage output is not the highest in the game, but it's still definitely viable in the hardest end game content. And she's still doing super well in the game. So if you have her, she's still usable. But for myself, I've been able to get along without getting her, and I don't mind. Alright, Nicole. I'm going to put her up here. So pleased with. I've pretty much been strictly using her with Hexrai teams, mostly with Klee. So I haven't been using her a whole lot. But where she is needed, she works quite well. And I only got her C0, R0. I literally got her at 16 pity. And she's still quite useful in my account and great for Imaginarium. And great for my... She's not on any of my strongest teams, but she's definitely up there with some of my more fun teams. So I'm going to put on her pleased with. Now, next is Eula. I'm putting her down here. Don't care. Now, okay, she is waifu. Her design isn't too bad. But on her first story quest, it really didn't draw me in. She was too much on the I will have vengeance on everything. Even when we went to Good Hunter, bought her lunch, and she's like, I will have vengeance. And that's her way of saying thank you. Because that's her way of saying, it's like, okay, she'll get lunch next time. But it just the fact they leaned way too heavily into that on her first story, it just really turned me off. So I did end up skipping her. And then by the time she reran again, I had more information on how her kit worked and a better feel of what she was going to be like on my account. So her kit is very RNG based, and some of that RNG is not obvious. Of course, the obvious RNG is whether her burst is going to crit or not, and the majority of her damage comes from the big blast on her burst. And there's a couple of problems with that. So if you fail to crit, you're looking at often restarting the fight in order to get that crit. However, the two problems with it is, one, there's movement RNG. Now, European servers, I don't know when it'll be out. It's usually out before NA servers. I'm on NA myself. So, and an NA, it'll be out at 11 p.m. approximately, and it's 10:05 p.m. now. So I'm expecting NA servers to be up in less than an hour. It's possible Europe may be up, but Europe may be waiting for the 10 p.m. as well, I think, or 11 p.m. as well. So maybe another hour at most. Definitely before an hour. The other part about her burst is like enemies will go underground, move around, whatever. So it's very easy for her burst to miss. And when it misses, it doesn't matter how you built her. You could have built her with 100% crit rate. It's not going to matter. The other part is her damage is very backloaded. So the biggest part of her damage happens at the end of the rotation. And when you're dealing with multi-wave content, it's not like you can clear out 2 or 3 waves in a single rotation like you can with other damage carries. You clear out that wave when the next one pops out. Oh, you missed the Syndrome banner? How do you like Syndrome as a character? Is she a character that you really adore, or... The reason why I mentioned that is because Syndrome is an on-field damage carry, and... Oh, only because of meta. Okay. Now, Syndrome is a damage carry. Damage carries automatically have lower value in the game compared to supports, because you tend to get more power from the supports than you do from the carries because of what you can manage to pull off with them. So if you do end up getting Odette, then you can make, in place of Syndrome, you can actually use Crowd Traveler as a Electro, like, stellar charge damage carry. And with Odette and Yamiko, you have a very powerful team right there that can do the same job without Syndrome. And the supports will carry your account further than the damage carries. But if you get a damage carry, you're kind of setting yourself up with the... Ah, true. So you already have Electro as well, so... it may not be quite as worth it then. So I'd only recommend, like, well, you can pull for a strictly meta. Try to get the absolute top meta of characters throughout the game. Some people find that fun. But myself, I don't pull based on meta. I pull based on how I like the characters and how I make the characters I like good. So I will skip characters that are meta. Like I skipped Nouvlet when he came out. He was meta then. I skipped Arlecchino. She was meta at one point. I'm doing fine without them, so that's fine. Next is Flynn's. I skipped him. Not waifu. Doesn't support waifu. Ganyu. I got her a long time ago. I got her on her release banner, and I got 2 of her in 110 pull, so I had her C1 already. She was my main until Ryan Shogun came out. Then I was a Ryan Shogun main until Yamiko came out. And then I was a Yamiko main ever since. She actually helped me, or helped advance my account, so where open world was no longer a hassle for me once I got her. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Saving for who you want is a great idea. As far as planning wishes, if you're planning for the very next patch, you'll want to save your wishes based on hard pity, so you're looking at 180 wishes. But if you're looking to save for a couple or several patches in advance and you're planning your wishes that far in advance, then you can start planning in the 110 wish estimates, which is the statistical average to get a desired 5-star. So if you start planning your wishes that far in advance, then seeing who you can realistically go for, that will really actually help you out with getting whoever you want in the game. But then you'll see how many wishes you are behind, and then realize, then you'll start making calls on who you should get and who you should skip. And that way you can focus your wishes on what's going to be the biggest impact for you. And that's how I've been doing it for several years now in Genshin. Now, Shenhe. I did not get Shenhe. I wouldn't mind getting her now, but at this point, I don't think she's worth putting the wishes into. The Archon level polls are always hyped. Always. And typically, Archons are pretty valuable to get, especially around the time that they release. And they do tend to stay relevant for quite a while. So they often have like a great investment value if you want to invest your wishes into an Archon. So I skipped Ayaka on her release, and then I got Ayaka on her rerun banner, the eternal rerun banner that lasted a long time because of the COVID shutdowns. But since I didn't have her initially when she first released, I didn't have anyone for her to buff, I skipped her in favor of saving for other characters. And then every time she reran after that, I was always saving for somebody else. And now any team that I can use her in now, since I have other supports, she's a side grade or a downgrade to things I already have. So there's no real wish value in me getting her now. Ah. How long? When did you stop maining him? Ah. How did you feel about Ito with his performance in game? Mid. Ah. I put so much effort in my Yamiko to avoid her feeling mid. I mained her since her release in 2.5. In 2.5, I managed to get C2R1 of her. I used her in a Taser comp, and then Dendro opened up, then Quick Bloom opened up, then Overload opened up, then Lunar opened up, and now she's finally got buffs and is now, for the first time ever since her release, now considered meta. But I've mained her for so long when she had no hope of being anywhere near meta. But that said, I was able to get great performance out of her. I skipped most of Sumeru, as I mentioned earlier, so I could get her constellations and during Sumeru, since she reran twice during that time. And I did manage to get her to C6, and I did a lot of my wishing around her, so I can keep building her teams around her to make her better and better over time. So it was a journey. I've enjoyed the journey the whole time. And the fact that she got buffed now, I'm really enjoying it. Ah, I see. I have seen some Itos that are easily breaking 100k crits on his charge attack, but that's after some considerable investment into both him and his team. And then when other team archetypes came out, he got left to, like, he didn't really benefit all that much out of it. Like when Farina came out, he didn't have a team that could really benefit from her. Because even with Shalonen coming out later, you wanted her C2 with him because you wanted 3 Geo in the party with him. and there's no Geo healer to really allow Frina to scale. And then at that point, Noelle took over and really beat Ito during that. Yeah. But it's not just Ito's investment, it's his whole team and his art on all their builds. So Ito is one that needed a lot of investment to really perform. Hey, he's definitely a goofball character. I end up skipping him because he doesn't fit my account. But there are people who do love him. All the power to them for loving him. That's probably why you had the 59k crits, because his weapon was a big part of his damage. I did get his weapon, and I gave that to Noelle. And you'll probably call that sacrilege. Ayaka, I'm going to put her up in this tier. I never really used her all that much. I did get her for collection's sake, and she's my first, well, second on-field crowd damage carry, because Genny was my first. I was able to do a decent teams with her over time, but I just never got that much use out of her. Not waifu, doesn't support waifu, so I'm just going to put him down there. So he was an easy skip for my account. He did get buffs, so he's now actually quite good. Yeah, that is true. That was on a Chronicle banner, if I'm not mistaken. Scoffier. I'm going to say I'm pleased with. I only used her with Skirk, really, and I've used her a couple other places. But I am glad I got her. I only got her C0R0, but she's working pretty well on my account, so I'm going to put her there. Sit Lolly, I am going to put up to 100% enjoy. She's an adorable character. I loved her story, her design, even her new outfit's adorable. Oh, someone said servers are up. Okay, well, I'm going to speed through this thing, because I only have 2 more characters to do. Syndrome, because of helping Amiko, and I do like her as a character. She's really grown on me through the Archon quests. And then Skirk, I'm going to put pleased with. I pretty much only use her for some challenging end games, but I don't use her as much as I probably could. So this will be it right here for my tier list. I'll probably grab a screenshot of this and put this in Discord later. And I'm going to check the servers, so just a second here. I don't want to show any of my login stuff, so I'm going to go to this screen. Last thing was my account hacked. I'm actually grateful I've been able to fill up the time here on waiting. Europe, you're not sure. I cannot test Europe, unfortunately, but I can test NA servers, but NA servers are usually the last ones to go up for anything. Ooh, this is promising. I'm not getting the instant screen saying servers are down. It may actually be up on NA. I remember logging out in a very Yamiko main appropriate area, just so I don't get locked into an Archon quest the instant I logged in. Just to be safe on that. But take a... Actually, wrong screen. This is the one. There we go. And I'll just have to wait for it to actually show. Alright, OBS, you can start capturing it now. I see black screen currently. I am in the game, but it's not showing it on... Oh, I guess it is. Maybe? Maybe not? Yep, there it is. So I'm in the game. First things first, I gotta go into here. Maintenance. Okay. Biggest thing in game survey. Claim all these. Get my Fremo gems.
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled and...
I can go in here. I don't have encounter points to do these now because brand new patch and all mine expired and I had over 500 of them. So I'll have to do that eventually.
Stories, really.
The Battle Pass. I'll confirm this plan. This is fine. I don't need more weapon crystals at this point. Claim all. There's my 5. I can do the 3 trounce domains already still. I'll probably do that first. Claim all of these.
Terribly dull reading.
So my Primo's at, or not Primo's, resin, 111, so plenty good there. I can collect those. There's this event, where we get this. New weapon material. I selected Shiori next. So, they added Mizuki, Siegeween, Shiori, Cloud Retainer, Navia is all added. They also added... I'm not sure all the new ones that they added, but there's other ones there. But these are the first 4 that I picked. Ito's in here too, but if you already have him C6, that's kind of pointless. I'm not going to do Yamiko's one because I'd rather get a free constellation on somebody else than just get another one of those Masters of Stella Fortuna. Here's the Archon quest. Exploration of the new area.
All geared up.
Hunt begins. So this is another quest. Test run, which I'll probably do first. The new Wonderland stuff. I am kind of curious on what outfits are which. The new boss. Another new boss. How big is what?
All
Gonna start with Arlecchino first. Snowy? Oh, the new region? I'll check that once I'm out of this. So, E-skill.
Animal Tech 6308! Witness the power of Gugwa! Let's light it up! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your...
He's the last one anyways, and he's just about dead. There we go. Other sages. I'll collect hers. Gonna try him now. Okay, I think I got the gist. Of course, Androne team. Go figure. First time seeing this new one.
Enhanced Animal Module 75.
Ready or not. Here, boy.
How tiresome.
Okay, that's it. Other Charles Sages. Odette's turn. And this is going to be the more comprehensive stage for her, too. I think I have a general gist on how to use her. Okay, so I'm gonna do...
Stay clear. Whirl, Mark 2. Surrender and I'll be due. Hot as death. Walks of the snowflakes.
I hope it is big, though.
Animal hypostasis emulation. Let's begin. Crystalline adagio. Pirouette. Come on, keep up.
Look at that. Trial Sage worth of damage.
Time entertainment. Hot as death. Walks of the snowflakes.
Ready or not. Here, boy.
Enhanced animal modules. How tiresome.
There we go. All the trial stages are done. Exit the stage. Now let's take a look. Well, it is a whole new region, so I am expecting it to be a good size. I'm guessing that's where the quest starts, and I don't want to do that just yet. That won't be till tomorrow. So it's all this area right up here. So it comes out from the north part of Nodcry, and then this is the waypoint we start at to go forward. I'm not going to start doing all that until tomorrow. But I am going to come here and do this real quick. On her.
Let's go stretch.
Back. Come in here. give a chunk of these.
No recipe, no problem.
There we go. The lazy way of charging your parametric transformer, and also to do the cooking thing for Scoffier. Just abuse these electro crystals. I can do both at the same time. Then I'm going to go get the salad I have prepared. And then I can do my wishing.
Not bad. Even the
There
most
we go.
unassuming ingredients can
That
produce
is done.
astounding flavor. But unlocking that potential
Now, I've already decided I'm going to be benching Kaching because I don't really use her anymore, but what weapon should I give her? I'll give her Wolfang because it matches her. There we go. Now, I will go to my teapot. There's 3 characters in particular I want to have in the party, and then leave an empty spot for her.
See the stars above you shining, guiding you along. Hear the music in the forest.
Put Mizuki in here,
Journey home.
and you can be taken out.
Getting colder, and when you lose your way, feel my hand upon your shoulder, and remember.
Okay, I'm just gonna be right back. I just gotta go to the fridge, get that salad out of there, and also gonna pick up another brew.
The lantern soaring over the sea. Wherever we go, you need to know that as long as you are by my side, we'll never be far from home. For you light up every corner of the world. You fill the air with joy and life. So please, when you feel it's going wrong, just take a moment, cast your burdens to the wind, and listen as it
Alright, I am back. That did not take very long at all. Okay, I'm gonna get the salad ready here. So, with Odette, I've already looked into her favorite food voice line. Now, she usually goes to the salad bar at the end of the day when they have this discount salad, so it's leftover old salad that she goes for. She knows that salad is better when it's fresh, but the old salad is nostalgic for her, so she does really enjoy that the most. So I have some leftover salad from yesterday's dinner that I saved for today. So hopefully she enjoys that. I'm just going to go ahead and crack this brew open. Pour it in my glass here. There we go. Now I'm going to show the condition of my wishes. Yeah, Odette is definitely going to be a strong character. And she feels like she's going to be a key support going on for the current region. So she's one I do want to pick up. So I have 120 wishes saved here. Plus, I have 7 wishes here. Plus, I have 90 wishes here. So 97 plus 120. So that's 217 wishes. If my mental math is working out right. Also, with how much I've gotten, now I did get Sitlolly skin, so I do have a few of these left over after getting 5 Vulcans. So that's going to make it so next skin comes out, I only have to get 4 Welkins, so I'm going to save those. But I still have the first time top-up bonuses off of all of these because I refuse to buy these. And so far, in all 6.x, I got Llama C2R0, Nefer C0R1, Columbina C2R1, Inefa C0R1, Linnea C0R0, Nicole C0R0, and Cedrone C0R1. And that was all from saving wishes and managing how I pull. So, I'm not going to convert any of those wishes over now. I'm just going to stay at the 120 I have here. I am at 1 pity. Because I did a 10 pull and got Cedrone, and she was like the 9th one in the list. So I want to do 9 individual pulls to get myself to an even 10. First pull, so I'll put 2 pity. I should get my notepad here ready so I can count my wishes. Okay, debate club, useless. 3. Trash. 4. It's a 4-star. Aoife, so I got a free wish back. Oh, what I should be doing is talking a bit about the 4-stars then. Now, Lynette, I don't have at C6. I got her at C1. She is one that did not want to come home for any of the constellations, although I don't really use her all that much, and I really didn't put any wishes into getting her deliberately. And I know I got the free copy from the Archon quest when she released, and I got one other copy some other random time elsewhere. But she wasn't really on any banners I wished on, or if she was, I never got any copies of her. So she would be one that I wouldn't mind getting. Now the other one here, Sucrose, since I started game launch, I have her well beyond C6 already. So that's not a problem. And of course, nobody has the new character yet. I forgot to turn it to nighttime. Or is it turning night now? Not quite yet. There we go. Take a bite of salad as I bring up the wish thing again. Okay, this salad definitely needs to be eaten up tonight before it goes bad. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. So I'm now at 10 pity. Okay, so now I can do 10s. So this will bring me up to 20 pity. And it's purple. 1, 2, 3. Sucrose free wish back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. That'll be next 10, so that'll bring me to 30 pity. And it's purple again. 2. Favonius Lance, I already got a ton of those. This will bring me to 40 pity. One, 2, 3.
Hello.
There's my first Alyosha,
Hello,
so he's now going to be
I'm a
C1,
hunter.
since I can get the free one for the Archon
Talk
quest.
to any highway.
This will be 50. Purple again. Rust. I don't need that bow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Next is going to get me to 60. Purple again. 1. There's a second Alyosha. He's now going to be C2. I think C2 is a good spot for him to be. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Next, he'll get me to 70. And it looks like she's playing hardball. The bell. Boo. 1. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see 3. 7, 8, 9, 10. And a Lynette. Okay, she's now C2. Okay, that was good. So I think I'm going to do single pulls now because soft pity starts at 74. So 70, 71. 72. 73. Lynette, so now she's got C3 now. 74. I'm now in soft pity. 75. 76. 77. 78. There's a 5 stars. At 50-50 win or lose. It's a 50-50 win, 78
You
pity.
want an autograph, right?
Statistical average
What do you want to do
is
next?
110. 78 means I'm above on the luck.
Oh, wait, you're not
So
one of my
I did
friends?
do really well with her, so I'm happy.
Understood. Let me start from the top then. I'm Odette, a ballerina with the Korylevsky troupe. Well, thanks for all the support, anyway.
Alright, now let's go over what I got. Now I'm just going to get rid of the red mark on this. But I'm not wishing on weapon banner. You're gonna shoot in Genshin? Good luck. But I'm giving her a Jade Cutter. I'll give her a just because I can build for now for my artifact pool. Okay, Silken Moon. Silken Moon. So you're going to get 20 energy plus 18 attack. 182 energy.
See the stars above you
Okay, so it really favored energy here.
along.
And she's going to get crit as she levels up too, but this is only a temporary build for her.
When the nights are getting cold,
I don't have anything for leveling her just yet.
lose your way. Feel my hand upon your shoulder and remember
Over 4,000 of these books.
the scent of summer wine on the breeze. The lanterns or
Okay, so she's level 40. Okay, she's getting crit damage as she levels up. That's good. And I got a free wish. Now, for Alyosha, I've already decided I'm going to give him a Favonius Lance. And believe it or not, I've already leveled it for him too. Look at that. He can use the energy recharge and high base attack, and he can help battery the party. How do they choose here? Attack, electro damage, what the? Attack. Yeah, no thank you. Celestial Gift, Celestial Gift 2 set with Deep Shadow 2 set. So I'm gonna do energy recharge. No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do attack percentage and attack percentage. No. He doesn't need attack percentage. He wants crit rate there. I got Favonius. 73 crit rate. Yeah, 14 crit rate on that. Okay, I think this is good. I'll give him that for now. So, I got C2 of them already. And I'll get a C3 from the Archon quest. C4 would be really nice of him to get, but I'm not really going to invest the wishes into 4 stars. But at least a C2 is going to help out. I also got Lynette Constellations, too. So I got 2 more copies of her. So I got her C2 and C3. Okay, so she's a bit better now.
See the stars above you shining, guiding you along. Hear the music in the forest as you make your journey home. When the nights are getting colder, and
So I'll be spending my resin to build them. I'm gonna build Alyosha first. I just did not want to be building her, or I didn't want to invest too many wishes because there's too many important things coming up. And what I also forgot to do, which I have to do, is I'm going to count my wishes. We'll do the 7 here. So that gives 50 wishes there. Plus 94 wishes there. So that's 140... 144 wishes remaining from 217. So, if I do a bit of math, that means it cost me a total of 73 wishes. The rest of wishes I made up from the Star Glitter. And since I got a free... Actually, I should try the same thing for what's-his-face. There you go, I got 2 free standard wishes. Let me check standard banner here, history. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75... So I'm at 75 pity. So I'm in soft pity now for standard banner. And I'm at 6 pity for 4 stars. So there's a chance either way. So let's see what we get for the 2 free standard wishes. Trash. That 5-star. Another Primordial Jadewing Spear. So that's my second one I got from Standard Banner. It's a decent attack power stat stick. So, I'm not going to complain. It's free wishes on Standard, so I'm not really putting a big investment on it. But I think that's going to be all for tonight because I do need to get some rest. And then tomorrow I am going to plan to do more with the streaming just so I can get into the other stuff. So I'm so glad I had a lot of people come in today. And thank you so much for joining me today. I know that floor 12, or sorry, I know that... Oh, you're so focused on the story. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to work on that tomorrow. So if you're doing the story now... Good luck on that. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers on it so I can do it myself. And thank you everyone for joining me today. It's been a very great stream here, and have yourself a great day. I'm going to go ahead and throw that tier list on Discord, and I'll see people tomorrow if you want to drop by. And take care, everyone.